Now we've illustrated how you connect the equipment to the tractor. Now to operate the tractor and the equipment that it's attached to, you do that from your seat of the tractor, which is where I'm at now. The tractor seat and the cab is similar to driving a car. You have a steering wheel, you have pedals, you have a seat belt. I'm going to talk a little bit about what you do to operate the tractor and operate the implement. Now from the front here we have our steering wheel, which steers the tractor. Underneath we have pedals. We have a clutch on the left side, which we use to change gears, and we have two brake pedals on the right, which actually on tractors you're able to control braking the left and right rear tire independently. This allows you to make sharp turns, but there's two pedals, so if I push the left one, it actually only locks the left brake. In this case, the tractor also has a gas pedal, so you can rev it up just by pushing the pedal. Not all tractors have that. Most of them only control speed with your gears or your RPM control. Here we have the console, and this will be different on different style tractors, different age tractors, different models. But it basically controls the operation of the tractor and the implements that you're controlling in the back. In this case here, we have these two large levers here that are basically the gear control for the tractor. This tractor has 3 forward and 1 reverse gear that we control with this knob here, so we can take it and put it in different gears. It also has range control. On tractors, most of the time you have 3 or 4 gears for forward travel and 1 rear gear for reverse. But you also have for each gear 3 or 4 ranges. In this case we have 4. So we have 4 ranges for first gear, second, and third, which basically gives you 12 total variations in the transfer of your power to the tractor. Well, also on tractors, this is either on your console here, sometimes it's on your console on your steering wheel, but this right here, this little knob controls the RPMs of your tractor. Whenever I raise this up or lower it, it actually changes the RPMs of the tractor and will speed it up or slow it down. Now behind this, we have all the controls basically for controlling the rear of the tractor. These 3 levers here basically are on-off levers. If I initiate it one direction or the other direction, it directs the hydraulic fluid to one of the ports in the rear. So they're labeled 1, 2, and 3. If you look at the hydraulic ports in the rear, they're labeled 1, 2, and 3. This is how you control fluid going to those ports. Next to that is we have the control for the lower arms on the rear for the 3-point hitch. We can move that back and forth just to raise and lower the 3-point hitch. And then finally in the rear here we have the PTO control. Now on some tractors there's actually a long lever that you initiate back and forth, and in this tractor here it's just a knob. So whenever I want to turn the PTO power shaft in the back, the PTO power takeoff on or off, I just take this knob here and twist it and it cuts it on. And then pull it and twist it back, it cuts it back off. The PTO on this tractor runs at 540 RPMs, that's revolutions per minute. There's some tractors that have 1,000 RPM PTOs, and those operate heavier pieces of equipment. This is also a cabbed tractor, which means that we have a rollover protective structure built into it. That means the seat also has a seat belt that you use with the ROPS to protect you in case of a rollover. Almost all cabs also are environmentally controlled. There's air conditioning in this one. If you can imagine, farmers stay on these tractors 10 to 12 hours a day. So it's just like their office. They need some comfort. So there's air conditioning. There's some control of the how soft your seat is to help going over rough terrain, and you can adjust your seat forward and backwards so that you're in the right position for operating the equipment. Also, having a cab protects you from some other dangers. It filters the dust around the outside of the farm. It also helps keep noise away from the farmer, and it's a shade to keep the sun out from getting exposure to the sun on a continuous basis.